Welcome. Let's get into another Bitcoin analysis as things push to the upside here. So I want to take a look at a few different metrics, some things that were great that you potentially could have acted on lower time frames. With regards to the setup, I made a video on 2 videos ago. So we'll go over those setups that were great on the way up, and then also what's maybe not looking so great right now. So before getting into all the details, very quick shout out to my affiliates, BingX Exchange. If you want to trade crypto, Forex, indices, and commodities all in one exchange, check out my affiliate link in the description for BingX. Good competitive fees here. And then also Bybit exclusively for crypto, though, if you're going to go for Bybit Exchange. Now, let's talk about this setup currently. So on the 4-hour time frame right at this moment, things are pushing to the upside. What I want to see is us pull back a little bit and kind of cool things off. So if we go down to a lower time frame, we can see open interest is incredibly high. So as we have been coming to the upside here, open interest has been getting sky high. And then just on this very most recent move up, funding rates are getting really high. We have the spot premium getting quite high as well. So ideally, what happens is we get into a pullback here, and then we see things drastically cool off. So shaking out longs, resetting funding back to healthy levels, and also getting that spot premium back down to some healthy levels before continuing up higher. And we want to see kind of a corrective move there. How that would look on our indicators of trading view is a reset of momentum down below the zero line on this lower time frame, and then also seeing another one of these long flushes on the open interest like we saw on both of these previous pullbacks. So if this were to come down and give us a nice little correction, want to see a similar setup where we get a big long flush, higher low cross up on our momentum indicator, some bullish divergence potentially. Otherwise, if we see this push down and longs keep jumping in even as we come to the downside, it may be more likely that we see this go in to that more bearish scenario that I made my video about the other day, where this comes all the way down for these lows. Right now, things still look all right. I think we are more likely heading up for new all-time highs on this push up, but I would like to see in the short term a pullback where we can kind of shake out some of these aggressive longs. I believe on this push up with our big open interest rise, a lot of it is still shorts getting in, and I don't think they've been quite shaken out yet. So one thing we can kind of zoom in and look at is on this very final push down here before we got into this rally, we had such a large increase in open interest as we pushed down here, which was mostly shorts getting aggressive right at the lows, which is what helped us get this rally. Now, ideally, this push up, a lot of this open interest increase has been shorts. That would be perfect, and that would be exactly what we want to see to then continue higher, where we see a huge flush of open interest, but that it happens on a push to the upside. So that would be ideal. That would show that we are actually doing a short squeeze, and this is not all aggressive longs getting in, but instead aggressive shorts getting in on this push to the upside. So that would be the ideal scenario. We just keep going higher, and then we eventually see a big drop on open interest with a big move to the upside, squeezing out all of the shorts that have been accumulating. The one that's most clear was this final push down where we had that big open interest increase on that final move down there before getting into this rally. So ideally, that's what we see. It would be nice to see a pullback, take out this low right here, and potentially the low here, to then also see things kind of cool off with funding rates, maybe drop some open interest, and also get the spot premium to come down a bit. Now let's talk about those setups that I talked about in my video 2 videos ago, a few days back, with the open interest flush with the higher low cross up on the momentum. So first one that we got as things pushed to the upside, we had the flush on longs here into that red territory 15-minute time frame, and then the higher low cross up here on the momentum. So that was the first setup, getting long on this candle, and then we got some follow through. What was also great about this pullback was we got a nice big flush on longs again, and then our higher low cross up. So we had initial cross up here below the zero line, and then we got the first higher low cross up right here, which would have coincided with an entry in this area. And we also had some bullish divergence forming here, so you could have even gotten in on this bullish divergence after noticing that setup. And then now we're taking off to the upside again. So this is what we want to see. We want to see that these aggressive longs are getting shaken out on these pullbacks. So this was good here. We got somewhat of a long shakeout on this specific move down, but I would love to see it on the next pullback, an even bigger shakeout of longs that ends us in this territory or in this territory with some sort of corrective price action to follow. Then we can kind of build up for that next move. Although I definitely see the possibility that we just keep going higher, but that would be if a lot of this open interest that's been ramping up is majority shorts. That's what would be perfect, and that would really send us to new all-time highs. So something to just be aware of, though, is that high funding that's coming in, which kind of tells us the longs are getting aggressive. Spot premium, we want to see that drop with a pullback here. So it'd be interesting if we have a pullback to then watch those metrics and kind of see what happens with these metrics if we are to get a pullback. So ideally looking similar to these last two pullbacks where we had those great setups for longs after getting these shakeouts of these leveraged long positions. And we only have a small one here, so ideally we come down, get a big shakeout, and then we can look for signs that this is slowing down after that happens. Let's look at some things like momentum, bearish divergence to see if maybe this has some room to run. So if on this hourly time frame, momentum still looks pretty good. We don't have any clear bearish divergence with our momentum here, so it's still coming to the upside. If we go to the 4 hour, it's a similar story. We have momentum still coming to the upside, balance of power as well. So we're not creating any clear bearish divergence on this specific push up other than on lower time frames. So just a small pullback would be likely, but want to see these higher time frames continue to carry through with this momentum. And then if there is a pullback, looking for those metrics to reset and cool down like I discussed there. And it would be great to just see this continue going higher from here. One thing that I also was just kind of drawing in and just noting is that we have somewhat of a parallel channel here, which we've kind of found a little bit of a pause at right here. So as you can see, we've come up and to the top of this, which if this is to come all the way back down, it would make sense. So we still want to just be ready for that scenario. But if this is going to break over here with some strength and we see this consolidate up there, continue, it's very likely that we're just going to be seeing this continue much higher towards 80K and beyond for new all-time highs. So let's kind of see how things pan out, look at the metrics available, see what's going on in the market. We want to see things reset on pullbacks. So that's what would be ideal. And again, what I was saying earlier with the ideal scenario would be a lot of this open interest ramp up, because it's quite a lot, would be that these are a lot of shorts getting in as we see this open interest ramping up and that the leverage is kind of getting high in the market. So that's going to cover it for this video. We'll see how things develop from here. Thank you guys for watching.